So when you're starting over, when you didn't have the money, when it was in your spouse's control, as a financial, expert, what do you tell a woman to do? I mean, just
Oh, I love that question. So like the first stage is stop making money complicated.
welcome back, Do-Over Divas, and today we're talking about what every woman needs to master. Money.
Rebecca Korn is here. She went from homeless to building a multi-million-dollar financial empire.
She did. And Rebecca helps women everywhere learn how to tap into their own financial competency. Welcome.
Welcome, Rebecca. Let's
Hi.
dive in.
Before we get to your work, Rebecca, could you take us through your transformation? Because where you began is very different than where you are now.
Oh my gosh, yes, it really is. Well, where did I begin? Are we talking birth or are we talking,
Well, I love the idea that you were homeless and now here you are. That
Yes.
is quite
Yes.
a do-over.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. It's been a swirl of contrasts in a lot of ways. Originally, I was a professional ballet dancer, and I grew up in a world that taught me that beauty and discipline can have this really interesting mix of things. And I actually think that helped me with my mentality around being in a homeless situation, because I knew that resiliency would always be my dance partner, and it wasn't something that I had to look for. In not that it was easy by any means, but it was something that I was able to understand ahead of all of that happening. It was a really tough season of my life, and I'm grateful for it though too. It all surrounded around finance and the inability to have clarity around my finances. And so that chapter was a necessary unlocking for what needed to happen for me to become obsessed with money, baby.
Well,
So,
yeah. I mean, I imagine that would create even more gratitude than what would typically be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it really does. And
Yeah.
it shows you too how you can live on so little.
Sure.
And you forever have that discipline. And I don't think it goes away. It hasn't gone away yet.
Well, no, I don't think the ballet dancer discipline ever goes away.
Right.
Well, or the memories of homelessness.
Or,
that is,
both of those.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
has to haunt you, both.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you realize that money was something that you just had a natural gift for, or you trained yourself for?
So what actually happened was I found out that my husband that I had married wasn't the person that I thought he was. And all of the dollars that I had come into that marriage with ended up his. And I landed with about $21 in my bank account. And I had just applied to med school. And embarrassingly enough, I went to my grandfather and I was like, I swear to you, I'm not a stupid person. Like, I don't know what happened, but this should have been different. And so any illusion of control that I had got completely stripped away. And it was in that process that allowed me to know that even in the ashes of like my own self-blame and my own frustration, I had a decision to have elegance in some capacity, even though that was just in my own thoughts for 5 minutes a day. But that piece of becoming obsessed with money hit almost immediately because, when you're homeless, you become pretty quickly obsessed with money.
And that lack of control, that feeling is so anxiety inducing, especially when you're coming out of something where you feel like you have been deceived and you felt like you had control and then you realize you never did. That's terrifying.
Absolutely.
So when you're starting over, when you didn't have the money, when it was in your spouse's control, as a financial, expert, what do you tell a woman to do? I mean, just
Oh, I love that question. So like the first stage is stop making money complicated. Money is not complicated, and women are really, really good at math. So like this is your opportunity to first rewrite what's been told to you about women being bad at math, right?
Yep.
The next point is start touching money. Literally look at it, track it, breathe it, touch it, be around it. Money mirrors how we relate to power. It does not define our power. It is
Money
something that
mirrors,
is-
I'm so sorry, money mirrors how you relate to power.
Yes.
Okay, you were
Yes.
were you about to explain that? Because I don't want you to go past that without telling us what that means.
Yes, because we are taught to, in a lot of ways, fear our power. We start making money and we avoid conversations about money. It's the strangest thing because we don't want to feel or seem a certain type of way. And whereas male counterparts in my very intimate, like, mastermind arenas, they're like, yeah, bro, I made $50,000. And I'm like, what is happening in here? And so when stewardship is a relationship that you're developing with money, that is something that's actually deeply connected. It's nurturing, it's intentional, it's wise. And so I think that sometimes when people are using this jargon or they're trying to gatekeep information, they make you feel like you need a man or a degree to figure it out, or like at least an abacus, right? And I think that in a lot of ways, when you slow down a little bit and you have a ritual of visibility, whether it's your checking account and just opening it up daily to have a relationship with it on a Friday night, and music, and like light a candle and be able to be proud of where you are right now. Make it sacred, make it a relationship. But that moment that you make that contact with money is the moment that you're like really reclaiming yourself and your throne and your next level.
I'm sorry. I'm sort of very Capricorn, and I like tangible and like so. Does that
I agree.
Yeah, is that
no,
a
it helps.
Capricorn thing? I don't know. Or it's just like
I think it's a
don't know.
mom thing and a woman
Maybe.
thing. I need tangible, like,
Right.
exactly
So tell me
how to do this.
in the relationship to that, like, what are those steps? So you're opening your account, you're lighting a candle, you're looking at your money, you're touching money, you're doing all of those things. What does that create? What are you hoping that does for women?
Well, what's really beautiful about this is that what you focus on grows, right?
Yes.
And so when you pick a number to track for 30 days, make it obsessive, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's something that you open every day, and then on Friday nights you have a beautiful money date with yourself. We have more obsession with our followers than we do our bank account numbers.
Mine's
or our
pretty
weight.
equal. Mine's pretty equal. I'm doing a lot of what you're saying, which is why I'm asking so many questions, because I love this.
right.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we as women could be more obsessed with our dollars than our weight,
Yes.
then that would actually shift it, right?
I love that.
So every day, open it up, look at the number, and that's it. You're not trying to fix anything yet. You're just observing and you're building a relationship with what reality is telling you instead of avoiding it.
Okay.
One of the things I found when I was leading my divorce club groups was a lot of the women that I chat with would not go to the mailbox. They would completely avoid the mailbox. It would get full, and they wouldn't even touch it because it was so embarrassing or fearful. They were scared of what was actually coming, right?
Because
And
of the
fear-
bills or because of the statements? What were they avoiding?
the bills, the uncertainty, my husband did that. I can't get there. As a
Feeling
financial
the
advisor,
failure.
I used to
Feeling the failure.
exactly.
I'm definitely
I used
afraid
to-
of it.
I hate the mail. I hate the bills.
mail.
But I'm
Which is
afraid
why
of
so
money.
much is on auto pay.
Like, I have money in accounts and I don't check it because I don't want
Why?
to know what's there. I don't know why. It's a fear.
Really?
I get it. It is awful.
I look every day.
I need to grow up, but I always.
You're not alone.
I don't know why that is, and it's not like I don't have money.
Is it because you don't want to be depressed? You don't want to see that you don't have as much as you want? Or
No, I can't even define why.
Really?
I don't know why. I'm like, no, avoid. Let's go look at Instagram. Let's go look at my weight. Let's go. Like, I agree that there is such a fear around it. And I don't know if that's from childhood, if that's from being
Has
raised
to
by a
be.
single mother who was terrible with money. But I feel like I'm not a good partner to my husband because of that.
Because you're not a
A
partner
money
to
team
him
player.
With, yeah.
I'm not.
And
I
he's-
want to avoid it.
But you're just operating in the dark. You're not bad at it.
Right.
Anybody operating in the dark can't see what's
Yeah.
going on, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm supposed to call my financial guy and ask about how much equity is, in my portfolio, and I don't know why I don't want to do that. It's a wonderful conversation
Maybe you
to
just
have.
don't know the questions to ask.
I actually do.
Oh, you do?
I actually do. My dad went to Wharton. I don't know why I'm avoiding it.
But
So explain why women feel that way. because I really do feel that way, and I feel less than because I feel that way.
That's it. That's right there. Because we have this relationship with shame and blame that moves us into this downward spiral and tries to trap us in the dark. And you can't build wealth when you're still trying to apologize for wanting it. And so what you're expressing here is
Interesting.
I think you nailed it.
I ask for it all the time, and I'm still not building it. So I need some advice. I ask for it every day. I threaten to leave if I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just an avoidance pattern that we learn from, oftentimes it's childhood or young adulthood, that feels like it's such a large lift or such an energetic lift that it's quote unquote hard. So when you desensitize yourself basically over a 30-day period and you open it up every morning, you shift the brain's point of perception that that's in some way negative. Yeah,
No, you
I
can do
gotta
it.
do it. I gotta start doing it.
gotta do it.
I will text you
Will
every
you?
morning.
And say, just do it. Maybe it's because it takes the fun out of the day.
Do
Everything
you have
becomes
an app?
real.
Do you have an easy way to open and
I do.
see either
your bank
your
account, yeah.
investments or
It's
your
a portfolio that I have through
Yeah.
Commonwealth Financial. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So you open up your Investor 360, whatever the app is, right?
I don't want to, Corey.
Why? It might make you really
want to.
happy.
See what you've caused now, Rebecca.
I want to avoid.
So fast
Well, I don't
forward
wanna shower.
yourself to
We have to do both.
Okay, I'll text you to shower. You text me to check my portfolio.
Great.
Teamwork.
well, fast forward it to where you get to that place where you're checking it and you have awareness and you
Yep.
have that confidence.
Right.
How do you feel about yourself, your marriage, what you're experiencing, right? If that is
true.
something that's really deeply important to you, then fast forward to that feeling and allow yourself to kind of anchor with that tango. And no matter what then comes your way in the future, you know that that was the most difficult thing for you. You'll have a skill set of being able to scale beyond that in any capacity that you need.
So you're saying predict the comfort and the competence that you feel 30 days from
Oh, I
now.
love that.
And step into that before you even open it.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
the exposure method.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's great. I mean, for me, and I'm uncomfortable with money. And the way that it presented itself most to me is having to negotiate raises and having to go in and explain why you were worth more money. I hated it. And I would have to give myself a pep talk beforehand and go over all the reasons it was okay for me to ask that.
Yeah.
And it is.
And you should ask
it's
for that.
absurd. Yes.
Yeah, and you should.
But they take advantage of the fact that women are uncomfortable having that conversation.
Yeah.
Men have no issue telling you all the things they've done incredibly and why you should pay them like an exorbitant amount of money. And women, it's like even 5%, you're like, I don't know. I mean, can I? It's absurd.
So
It's
how do you
absurd.
change
It really
the confidence and the mindset of feminine power regarding financials?
And help someone know their worth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first stage is recognizing what you just did. It makes me feel uncomfortable, right? Because the ways that we have been taught is that good girls don't talk about money, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
just be
insidious.
the bad girl.
Yeah.
Just be the bad girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And shower.
Exactly. Yeah.
That might help.
Optional.
That might help.
But really, think about it's so insidious because it almost sounds reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
And so your brain is like, well, it's about manners. And that's not true. It's
class.
actually about staying
Yeah.
stay small.
Yeah.
Stay small. Stay grateful, be seen and not heard, right? Mm-hmm. But also stay dependent.
So getting back to the financial freedom of someone that is going through a life shift, like a divorce. I had a friend who was going through a divorce, wanted to get a divorce, should have gotten a divorce, eventually did, but she was petrified because she didn't know how she was going to be financially successful on her own because she hadn't worked. And it was terrifying. That was the only reason she was
Or
afraid to
even
leave
just
him.
Financially independent.
Financially independent. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Her
no.
financial freedom on her own was so scary that she was willing to stay with a guy because she didn't know what to do. How
Yes.
do you change that?
Yes. So you start exactly where you ladies are talking about. You recognize that your comfort with money directly impacts the ways that you make decisions in life. And you think about the ways that that actually infuses. So does that mean that I'm staying in a circumstance where I am not connecting with my effort, or I'm not connecting with the ways that I could be independent? Compound interest is a sexy thing, baby, because
It is.
compound interest.
It is one of
Oh
the
my God.
sexiest.
Yeah. Woo!
It
I agree.
really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
The gift that keeps on giving, really.
it really, literally.
It really,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, like, at the end of the day, if you have the ability to have compound interest at a certain percentage amount that you decide to go shopping to, I have no idea, insert beautiful designer here.
Right.
That you want to spoil yourself over because your comfort, right? It's not your skills, it's not your effort, it's not your ability to hustle, it's not how much you're carrying. It's about the decision that you are not sabotaging every opportunity to build it, and that you get to be rewarded with that. So
It's the rewards are difficult because the one thing that does pop up a lot is that lack mentality, and the mentality that if I do this, will it be replaced? Will I continue to have that compound interest? It's the trust. The trust in money is something that I struggle with.
yeah, so actually the ability to build interdependence, it's kind of like a relationship, right? Your relationships can either be codependent, avoidant, or interdependent, right? So if we actually go into this beautiful space of interdependence, then I'm looking at it, I'm not judging myself, I'm not shaming myself, I'm being proactive with this relationship where I'm unlearning this politeness to the ways that society has taught me, but I'm relearning my power and what I'm looking at so that I can understand how to proactively really be able to advocate for myself. If I see a dollar that's getting removed from there, I know I can proactively say, that wasn't me, that might be a hacker. And the thing with hackers is that they do things that are very small, like 57 cents.
Right.
You know, and it's small enough that, you know, the mind is like, I didn't do that. Where's that from? And so it's actually a position of power that you're placing in yourself and placing in your skill set to become strategic. And that's really the root of it, right? Your skill set to become strategic, confident, and unapologetic, because you know WTF
Right.
is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Jill's friend, who, let's say she did get divorced, and let's say, you know, there's no real money left. What are the first steps you take to building, you know, your own financial future if you don't have that basis anymore?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that my grandfather told me in the beginning stages of this for myself was, kid, don't be too aggressive about it. It's going to come. But you got to start in a place where you trust the ways that you're building that can be consistent, because consistency is your greatest next level, right? So I started by just making the money, but then I had this relationship with it where I felt so guilty. And so I undercharged, and I constantly was deducting my fees as a financial advisor, and that's terrible. I over-delivered. I apologized perpetually, and I basically spent years trying to figure out how to deserve what I was already earning and what I was already returning, right? And so here's what I would say. When you understand that you are developing this relationship and desensitizing this perception that is uncomfortable, and that you want to be polite about it, you then move into a place of saying, okay, I'm just going to be interdependent with it, where I'm proactive, I'm taking opportunity, but I'm not unconsciously sabotaging myself and building it, and I'm going to stay consistent. And so the first thing I would say is just staying consistent, relearn power, and be kind with yourself. We are not meant to have these judgmental types of, we don't listen to judgmental podcasts, we don't listen to judgmental friends. Why do we do it to ourselves? With money.
Oh, very true.
So you really had to start over, like in a completely right from rock bottom way. And for a lot of women, that's probably a truth. What did you do? What were your first steps in doing that? Because that feels overwhelming.
Because a mindset shift is amazing, but what do you physically do?
Yeah. For the women that are at rock bottom and
Yeah.
wondering, oh my God, how do I get up today? And
Yeah.
what do I do next?
Yeah. So the first practice that I had with this is like, let me write down a sentence of what I desire my life to look like one day. And underneath that, then take one step. So is that a friend group upgrade? Is that a networking experience? Can I get myself dressed enough to get to that place, right? And it's a question of what conversation can I connect with that's going to change my energy? Because I know for myself that if I can talk with somebody in some capacity, it changes my body, my spirit, and invigorates me. And so you design by being with your feminine intelligence, that intuition, that rhythm, that beauty, that connectivity, and then everything starts to flow a little bit differently. So maybe that's internal, where you're just giving yourself like a moment to wash your face, and you are giving yourself a moment to talk to somebody new in a coffee shop, and that just gives you enough brightness to begin doing something else and talking or asking for a job,
Right.
or asking for an opportunity. What can I do? So when you're in that space, a very small shift is going to create a very big understanding in a relationship with your piece too. So
Wow.
I think that money in and of itself is a space that a lot of women are uncomfortable with.
Yes.
They may have avoided dealing with it till now. They weren't taught in the same way men are.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, you're a very successful financial advisor. For a woman who's never hired a financial advisor or, sort of waded into that end of the pool, what do you look for? What do you advise them? What questions should they be asking before they work with someone to grow their money or come up with a financial plan?
Yes. So first of all, I'm a retired financial advisor.
Okay.
I'm no longer licensed, which actually gives me the ability to speak on this a lot more freely, which is really exciting on my side. I now coach and develop a lot of financial advisors in this space. And in practice, what this looks like is I like to look for a fiduciary, and I like to look for somebody that I can connect with authentically, and I feel like I can actually speak to. They're real. They listen, and they're going to give me ways to honor wisdom with dollars. So money loves movement. And if a financial advisor isn't willing to sit down with me and talk about that movement and have a third party perspective on it, it's really important that I understand their style and I understand their cadence. But I also, most importantly, want to make sure that they meet with me quarterly, because I don't know about you ladies, but in a business, things change pretty wildly
Right.
in a quarter. And I want to make sure I'm doing the best that I can be doing. And even with my being a financial advisor in the past for about 7.5 years, being able to have that relationship with somebody else to just double check me, make sure I didn't lose track of something, or I'm not having some sort of blind spot. It's really, really important to me. So leverage in that space makes wealth feel more sustainable. But I also really love still trading, because it's fun for me. So my guilty pleasure is Wealthfront, and they don't pay me to sponsor anything. I wish they did. My hustle, my abilities, my number of people that I can talk to is limited. What I guide my clients to do, we leverage systems to be able to do that. One of my clients, for example, she's a real estate agent, and we adjusted her systems to leverage AI. And we just shifted some of her systems. She's now making she's almost actually at 150 per quarter right now, which is really exciting. And so she said to me, she's like, I need to talk to a financial advisor or something. And I was like, first, let's wipe out debt. Let's make sure everything is cleaned up.
Yep.
And then let's get you in front of this advisor and ask these questions so that you're really empowered. So yes, that's what I do.
Okay.
Wow.
So when
I
you
love
talk
it.
about shifting systems, does that mean like implementing the AI tools you're talking about, right? To free up some time for her, right?
If my client comes to me, and she says, listen, I have $150,000 in debt, real story. I have $150,000 in debt. It stresses me out very badly. I want to get into real estate flipping, but I can't get a loan. How do I go about doing this?
Yeah.
And so what we did was we actually created a business from nothing for her. and she was one of my millionaires. It was an incredible transformation story. She stepped right into it. She just glowed through the whole process. And that's the most beautiful thing, I think, of. So
Is AI the cheat here? The catch up for all women, that they can just, sort of leap ahead of where men are at this point, because now we have like these co-pilot tools to help along?
It's a good question. I think we use AI very differently than many of our male counterparts. I know a lot of other, what I would consider like agency owners, and they don't do the depth and the width of what I do. And they just kind of stamp through processes. I love KPIs and SOPs. I find them very sexy, mainly because they create predictable income, right? And so I think that our opportunity to protect it and leverage it to our advantage isn't to avoid it, but to use it and do it better. So
of
that's
course,
my
like we do
objective.
everything, really.
Yeah.
I could talk to you forever.
It feels like, you would be a perfect person for anyone who's thinking about starting a business or starting that.
Or growing their business.
Yeah,
growing
or growing
their
their business, taking that next leap and making that, second act, count. It's
Better,
sort of,
making it better, richer.
like you did. Yeah,
many
you're on
ways.
your third act, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know which act. I just love that we all get to live this beautiful life. And I think being able to show people that adding 30 to 50K per month on top of whatever they're making is entirely possible. There's nothing that's in the way of that. And being able to flow differently, it's just about choosing different things for ourselves and choosing our focus into different areas ultimately. So yes, absolutely.
That's great.
That's
Can you
lovely.
tell us where our followers should find you and sort of, reach out and see all that you do, because you do so much?
Yes, hit me up on Rise, Reign, Rule, Reign like a queen, REIGN, risereignrule.com or Rise, Reign, Rule on Instagram. I do answer and look at every single one of my messages. We have some sassiness over there too, so
I love it.
feel free.
I love it.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. You're speaking our language.
You are, yeah.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for
It's
being
been
here.
amazing. Thank you, Rebecca.
This is such an inspiration. I appreciate your time.
Yes, for sure.
It's been a pleasure meeting you ladies. You have such sass and such ambition, and I love what you're doing.
Oh,
it's
thank
such
you.
a realness and a rawness, and it's truly inspiring. So thank you ladies
Thank
for
you.
doing
Thank
it.
Thank
you.
you. Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hope to talk
Such
to you
nice
again soon.
compliments.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you
We will
so
talk
much.
to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a good
Bye.
day. New episodes of Do-Over Divas dropping every week, wherever you get your podcasts.
Been on for